So the good news is spending in online video is up 40% this year. In a terrible year, video gained dollars, certainly. The bad news, as Rob said before, it's still a tiny, tiny portion of the market, so it didn't really have an effect on the whole pie. We heard from the publishers who are all seem to be great fans of pre-roll advertising. So I just want to ask all four of you in order, starting with Michael here on my left. Is this just TV on the web? I mean, is pre-roll it? Why do you think this is such a popular form, and should we expect to move beyond it at some point?
It's interesting. Based on what we've seen, you would come to that conclusion. I mean, over the past year, we've seen pre-roll be 70% of what we do. Now it's 95% of what we do. So pre-roll is tested as close to what a TV ad is as possible, and it's what's available. So really, as it relates to the content or the ad unit that's available. So that's what we see.
I mean, it also conforms to the historical contract between advertisers and program makers and consumers, doesn't it? You get this for free and we'll torture you with however many seconds of whatever it is in advance of you getting it for free, and everyone sort of rubs along quite nicely on that basis. And the notion that it's actually going to be seen and people have actually opted in for the content and so on and so forth becomes sort of somewhat attractive to advertisers, the exception, of course, being the Hulu model, which of course is the one from a viewing experience that most replicates what television feels like to most advertisers.
And ultimately, the pre-roll, what advertisers love is, I think somebody mentioned it earlier today, is you can't get up to go to the bathroom and not watch it. I mean, so you're engaged with 15 and 30 seconds. You have to watch the ad to get to your content. And so,
well, unless you're quick.
Well, yeah, sure. You can certainly be quick.
So Robert, you guys really you're not really in the business of pre-roll, are you?
Well, I mean, we do pre-roll as any other agency does, but the focus of my work is not trying to turn the internet into television 2.0. And the notion that, it just has to be pre-roll content through gatekeepers has its place, but it's certainly not, to my mind, the driving force of what video on the internet is about. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier in the tech portion about search, and search is relatively mature for a lot of the work that our clients need. So there is a place for the paid placement and a place for the pre-roll, but I certainly don't think it's the end-all be-all. And certainly, I noted it took about 40 minutes into the conversation today for the word interactive to be spoken. So in my mind, what we're looking at is experience driving using video, not just having people sit back. Will the TV screen be important? Sure, you want your video to be on the best monitor in the house. But if the promise of the internet is just over-the-top programming or another way to sit back, then I think we missed the opportunity.
I do agree with what Robert said, but I do think, even though we are believers in and traffickers in original online video content, which is a small slice of the small pie, I think that what pre-roll is doing for us right now is we're sort of riding on the backs of the pre-roll model, and it's allowing our larger clients to start to test and learn the more important things that I think Robert is speaking to, which is, how can we start to build engagement? How do we test it? How do we activate this content? And so, as we're building original video platforms now, we can buy those, at least for the moment, and even though it's not perfect, we can buy those through media relationships where pre-roll is guaranteed, and then we can use those opportunities to really gain some critical learnings around the real conversation, back to your point, which is this is a three-way communication medium. And if all we're going to do is watch television there, then I'm not sure we're taking advantage of the true opportunity in the space.